Yo, listen up. It's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. We already knew what the finish was going to be anyway. I mean, I'm telling you.
Oh, mind blown. Welcome to Hardaway Wrestling. It is Top Rope Tuesday. Boys.
About to say, what a cunt muscle.
What a cunt muscle? Are there muscles there? You just took away our PG rating immediately when we started.
Yeah.
Hey, get it out of the way right quick.
I guess. What's going on, boys? It's felt like I haven't seen you for at least 24 hours.
It's like been like 2 weeks, dude. Didn't you realize
Been like exactly 24 hours.
Yeah.
We are back again with another fun-filled day of wrestling, and that's what we do around here because that's all it ever is. It's wrestling. That's it. It's just wrestling, right? There's a ton of good shows. What is the Righteous Gemstones is back on HBO.
What?
There's a ton of TV shows out there, all over Netflix, all over HBO, but we choose to watch wrestling instead. So. Anyway, we got
more exciting than physical violence.
Yeah.
Physical violence. Yeah, I would say, boy, my internet is fucking dropping. I would say physical violence. There's been a lot of that here lately. I think WWE has become a lot more hard hitting than normal. So thought about silent my phone. But yeah. So anyway. We got a little bit to cover here. We got some news, but I'm not gonna get into that. We'll have some news here for the end of the week when we do our Impact Wrestling Rick's picks for that. So, but we have a Raw review and we have NXT Road Block tonight, which looks like a really good card.
Yeah, I wasn't like for sure what the whole card was going to be until we did our picks, and I looked at the thing. I was like, "Ooh!" Like the only match I knew was going to happen was the we'll get into it in a little bit, but the Julia versus Stephanie Vaquer situation, the title for title deal, and I was like, "Oh, that's going to be phenomenal." We know that, but then the pretty stacked NXT card for.
Yeah, Randy says
Booker probably for that one.
Randy says we're constantly freezing. Is not being very quiet. Able to watch whatever you don't get to see here. You'll be able to watch video on demand or whatever. I'll re-upload it regularly. So apologize. Don't know what's going on with the internet. On the internet. So Ricky, let's get into our. Let me see. I mean, because it's very possible. No dirty things up. We're good.
How about just 30 different windows up? Knowing you got that.
I actually don't. I got no windows up.
All right, well, let's get into Raw. Would you believe it if I told you that they didn't have a 15-minute yeet and promo and they got right into a match within 5 minutes?
Yeah,
I would not believe you. These are lies. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was like, all right, Jey Uso's coming out. I'm gonna go load the dishwasher up and get a snack and get a drink, and then I heard Grayson Waller coming out, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Are we getting right into a match? This never happens.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, crazy.
So we get Jey Uso. He beats Grayson Waller. After the match, Theory tries to attack Jey Uso. He beats both of them. And then Gunther sneaks up from behind Jey and chokes him out again.
So Gunther is promised the Jey that the next 40 days or however long it's been until WrestleMania, he's going to make his life a living hell. And he has. He really has. I like Jay's new outfit.
Yeah. I will say this, and I said this in the group chat last night when I was watching it. I want Matt Hardy to fully come back to the main roster to Raw and start a delete the yeet campaign. I want a complete delete the yeet I can't get into him. It's like he's the most over guy there, and like to me, he means nothing. Like he's just like, cool, whatever.
Yeah, the fans love him. My Yeet belt will be here very soon, by the way. Can't wait.
Your what?
My Yeet belt.
Oh God.
It's coming. It's coming.
So they announced for next week, we get a no holds barred match between Penta and Kaiser.
No
Winning-
Penta. No Penta this week. That's
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, right?
No, he was on last week.
Well, he showed up, but then he was like, he didn't wrestle. He was in gear. He was just in like regular street gear, right?
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I forgot about that.
They
We were
got
bitching about, is it too much, too soon for Penta? And they took him away from us. So come on, Penta, come back to us. Come on.
they're getting ready to do that European tour. I'm sure he's getting his passport ready.
Oh, I'm sure. They
Leave
might
the
already be
country.
They might already be crating him up and floating him over there.
We get Logan Paul. He calls out The Rock and said that his soul's for sale, and he wants the final boss to give him an offer. And then he calls out Andrew Schultz, who's one of the guests in the front row. Asked him who he came to see. He says he's come to see AJ Styles, and he came to see the steel cage match and not Logan Paul. Logan yeets him over the barricade.
He
throws him in
basically
the
said,
ring.
"Hey, listen, this ain't Cleveland, Ohio. This is New York.
Yep.
We're here to see real wrestlers. We're not here to see. No one's here to see Logan Paul."
So Logan Paul's getting ready to suplex Schultz, and then AJ Styles comes out and takes him down. New Day versus the LWO in the no DQ tornado tag. I actually stayed up to watch this one for once. Only because
Really?
it was-
This was my bathroom break match. I was like, you know what? I'm not interested. So I
only
literally
only because it was tornado tag and no DQ. Did
yeah.
I stay in it? And we get the return of a masked man that
Yeah.
jumped the barricade. He did a lot of Chad Gable's things, but I guess we find out later.
It
who
was.
the
I
masked
don't
man
think it was
really
Chad Gable.
I mean,
No,
we
it-
thought
it
it was.
Kind of looked like Chad Gable, but it didn't.
it's the very short version of Mr. America.
Somebody
With the
last week when I
American-made
asked,
luchador mask.
I asked the question, what's in the box? Wrong answers only. And somebody said Mr. America's mask.
Yeah.
And then when this mask showed up, I was like, shut up. That's not even a real thing. For some reason, the guy that they got later on during the night, they arrested him, was a little thinner.
Yeah, he probably beat up Tozawa and put the clothes on him. He wakes up and is being escorted out. God damn it. Text message. Next we get Cody Rhodes. He comes out and says he will have the heartbreaking privilege of beating Cena at Mania to stop him from winning. Cena will realize that he is now the. So then they announce that next be in the same. What did they say?
European tour.
3 p.m. start time here.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
It'll be on Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
3
I'm in.
p.m. here.
Yes.
So gotta love some late afternoon wrestling.
If we all moved to California, that's what we would get.
That's also true.
I'm
Yeah.
stoked for Mania that it's going to be 4 p.m. there.
It will be 4 p.m. there. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have the whole rest of the night after the 4 hours of wrestling.
Yes, we will be drunk or high. I mean, drunk and high on like on life.
Yeah.
And Damien will be in the fountain again.
Well, most likely.
Yeah, probably.
His one bath a year.
Here at Las Vegas.
It's in the fountain on Fremont Street. And anybody out there who decides that they're going to drink out of that fountain, Damien has drank out of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he has, and he spit it all over a little kid.
yeah, right.
He what? I don't remember that part being told.
Yeah, it was right at the end of the video.
I missed that.
Yeah,
Wow.
Started laughing.
There was a kid standing there videoing him for being Damien. And
Yeah.
as he leans back up, he just spits the water out, and the kid just happened to be like right in front of him.
That's funny.
Yeah. Next, we get Dominic Mysterio telling Balor that he got him an Intercontinental title match next week against Braun Breaker. And then Finn gave Dom a big hug. He was grateful. Our next match.
Who do we think is going to be? I don't mean to rush you, Rick. Who do you think is going to be the new member of Judgment Day? Because they're clearly going to add somebody. FTW, what's up, buddy?
At this point, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't think of who else they would add. Like,
yeah, they're clearly going to add somebody. We just don't know who they're going to add.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time it seems like that faction's getting ready to implode and go away. I don't know. Just seems like they're not going to.
Right.
So our next match, we got Intercontinental title #1 contender match between Raquel and Bailey. Raquel gets the win with help from Dominic and Liv Morgan causing distractions. Then we get to the backstage of Chad Gable and the Masked Man, big deported from the arena. Oh man! Next we get Jesus Christ. We get EO trying to have a promo with Michael Cole, which gets interrupted by Bianca Belair and then Rhea. And then during that whole thing, Rhea's calling out Bianca, saying that EO would have never won without the distraction. She had no business being out there. And then EO gets pie-faced by each woman in the middle of trying to break them two up. And then slapped the absolute shit out of both of them. So looks like we're going to get that triple threat probably.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of this though. Like, I still think it should have been Rhea and Bianca at Mania, but because I really don't see what purpose EO serves in all this. But I mean,
I believe we're gonna get a triple threat.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get a triple threat.
Yeah. Like I said, you can't have Mania without Mommy.
EO's slap on Rhea was not as hard as it was on Bianca. She smacked the piss out of Bianca. So
yeah.
Tony Storm-esque.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Then we get to our main event of the night: Seth Rollins and CM Punk in a steel cage match. I unfortunately had some internet issues and missed the majority of the match, but I did come back in time to see the ending where, my God, if we thought AEW had a bunch of false finishes, Jesus, Pete, protect the finish.
But here's where I will slightly disagree with you on this. I agree, protect the finish. Don't get me wrong. But whereas AEW has false finish after false finish for no reason, that the false finishes in this match were very well done to the point where, because here's where what I saw.
This was more false finishes than you've ever seen in any match ever.
Yes.
They hit each other with each other's finishes. Moves,
yes.
And Punk gave Rollins how many GTSs? Like 3, 4?
4. But here, let me explain what went on here. So, Netflix debut, Punk versus Seth, Punk wins. So, again, we know they got to go to somewhere with this with Mania, so we know Seth's going to win this match. I'm watching this match, and again, I'm like, okay, 1 GTS. Okay, they're not going to win on that one. 2 GTSs. Okay. And again, and there was a good enough space in between these moves. It wasn't just one after the other after the other. There was a good amount of time in between. By the time they had built this match up to the 3rd GTS, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat because I'm thinking to myself, Like, are they gonna
Scotty,
swerve me?
you're always on all edges of your seat.
Yes, I do understand that. But I'm on the edge of my seat because I'm thinking they're gonna swerve me here. Punk is going over. They're gonna have to find another way to get him into this thing, into the main event at Mania, because they had me to the point where I was convinced for a short amount of time that Punk was actually gonna win this because it's like third time's the charm. He'll hit it, it's game over after that.
How many times did he hit the GTS?
Huh?
How many times did he hit the GTS? Was it 4?
4. Yeah. So
Did you say I lost count?
Yeah. And to me, the whole thing was when they started hitting each other's finishes. When Punk hit the stomp, I was like, oh man, that's another one that I sat there. I was like, they're gonna beat Seth with his own move. That's gonna be how they're gonna pull this off. And like AEW, take notice because the false finishes in this match, whereas AEW does them just to do them, just so they can say they kicked out. To me, this had a lot of meaning. Like, instead of bleeding for no reason, yes, it's a steel cage. Yes, I would have liked a little bit of blood. Yes, I get it's WWE.
What was the meaning, Scotty? Scotty, what was the meaning of all the false finishes, all the different?
It drove the damn story in my view because, like I said, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat thinking Punk's actually going to pull this out. Punk is going to win this, and they're going to find a different way to get Seth and Punk into Mania. And by the time they telegraphed it a little bit when, because I was like, okay. The door was open.
You
They
cannot keep doing a finisher and going right into the cover and kick out at 2. You cannot keep doing that.
Again, they had me. They had me on those. Like AEW,
what's
it
the
doesn't
point of
have.
calling it a damn finisher if you're going to kick
I
out
get
of it?
that.
Like, he just gave a body slam and went for the cover. 1, 2.
They even did the like did he do the curve stop off the second turnbuckle?
He did, but that was right where he leaned up against the door entrance, and then the finale happened where Roman yeets him out of the cage.
Yeah.
But
I understand what they were doing there. They're trying to show that both guys are overpowered. They're overpowered. They show their 2K stats in the corner. One's 93, one's 94. That's their strength level or whatever. They're trying to show that these guys first off, they're not going to go down easy, right? They're trying to prove that they're not going to go down easy and that neither one gives up. Neither one is giving up in this. Punk opened the cage, or Seth opened the cage. Punk gave him the fingers. Seth came in, same thing, reversal. Punk opened the cage.
The STF.
Yes.
Tried to make him pass out again.
Yeah.
So I get that portion of it. After the third or fourth finishing move, I automatically started to think that something else was coming because there was no way. Like what could they have finished each other with? A roll up? Like
I felt like I was watching a Brock Lesnar match, Brock versus Roman from like 5 years ago, or Brock versus Seth, where it was just nothing but finishing moves and kickouts for 5 minutes, and then the match is over.
Yeah, but you look at Roman. Look how overpowered Roman is. Look how overpowered Brock is. I mean, you could understand where also 2 dogs that aren't just going to get laid out the rest, right? They're fighting through however many Germans that Brock gives, right? I mean, how many Germans did Brock give Roman, or who was it? He gave like 15 Germans to.
I lost count.
Like I think that was.
It was like watching the super kick party between the Usos at Mania last year. Like I just lost count after a while.
Yeah. So I get what they were trying to do there, but to me, it almost said, okay, well, these guys aren't going down like this. How is this going to end? Right? How can this can't end with a finisher because they've already done the second turnbuckle stomp. They've already done 12 STFs. What's STF stand for, by the way?
Step over crossface, if I remember correctly.
Is that what it is?
But in John Cena's world, I think it was shut the F up.
Yeah, that's the STFU, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's step over crossface, if I remember the actual lingo correctly. but they telegraphed the finish at the end, because what I thought was going to happen was that I saw Seth on the ropes, getting ready to do the second turnbuckle curb stomp. I was like, okay, there's going to be something happens. He's going to, like, Punk is going to crotch him on the rope. He, like, crotches and falls out of the cage. Because they had the door open, so I was like, okay, yeah, that's a little odd. Something's going to happen. Something, he's going to, like, it's going to be a fluke win where something happens and he kind of, like, falls out of the cage by accident and wins. And it's going to piss Punk off to the point where it's like, okay, now we got to have a third match. I did not expect the way that match was going to. I heard the crowd go nuts.
The camera angle again was on point. Like, you could see something happening just like out of a blur, but you couldn't see exactly
that's what Jesse and I were sitting and watching, and you could hear right before the crowd started to rumble. It was like something moved, and we were like, I said, okay, something's coming. Something red is coming. Whatever the fuck that is. It looked red, but I guess it wasn't. I guess he was wearing black. I don't remember, but yeah. So go ahead, Rick.
The Roman yeets Rollins out of the cage. Rollins helps
him win.
While Punk is laid out from the second rope curb stomp, and then Roman hits him with a Superman punch. He spears him. He stomps him. He's getting ready to stop him on the steps. Then he goes in the ring, and I didn't see Paul Heyman even come out.
I didn't either.
Paul Heyman's in the ring helping Punk up, and Roman sees that, and he goes in the ring, and he just lays CM Punk out with the spear. And
Paul's selling on that was phenomenal.
His bottom jaw quivering.
Yeah. Paul's amazing.
So
love it. And then at the end of the night, we get Roman standing in the middle of the cage with the ones up.
Yep.
I did the same thing. As soon as he got in the ring, I was there it is. So anyway, not a bad episode of Raw. Great ending. I mean, everything else was filler getting into that. We didn't get into any more Naomi stuff. I guess that'll come later, I'm sure.
That's SmackDown.
Okay, yeah, I guess that is SmackDown. Well, I mean, Bianca showed up here. Yeah, I mean, we could have got something, but we didn't get it. It wasn't a ton. This was great. This was great. So, we're gonna find out what that favor is gonna be here soon. It's coming. So,
yeah.
Anyway, good episode of Raw.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get into Rick's picks here, make sure you go to our Patreon. Our Patreon is $5 a month. You can join. You'll get trading cards. You'll get to do our predictions challenge, which runs monthly. There's 2 more predictions challenges left on this cycle, and then it starts all over for WrestleMania in April, or however many episodes or whatever is going on. I don't even know how many pay-per-views there are in April. I know there's an NXT and 2 WrestleManias. That's 3. I'm sure there's an AEW somewhere.
I don't
think AEW
like a couple more months.
I don't
do them every month.
Well, usually. I know that they usually do ROH that same weekend. Death Before Dishonor. No, maybe not Death Before Dishonor, but one of them they do. But I don't know that they're doing that this year. So
yeah, Tony's banned all the AEW people from being at WrestleMania weekend. So
yeah,
they're not going to do that.
So
anyway, he doesn't want any more people jumping ship.
So if you want to join the predictions challenge again, it's $5 a month. Come join. It's fun. We're always looking for new champions. It looks like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna win this one. Now the belt's coming back home. So, sorry to everybody who thinks, I know, Ricky, you think you have a chance, but you don't. You just don't, because first off, I pencil whip this thing, and
I think he's just adding all the points on for himself. Like, even if he doesn't get a good card, he just kind of adds a few extra points to pad his numbers here and there.
That's right. Actually, I keep all of the forms. So if anybody ever questions, I can always pull it up.
Oh, there we go.
So anyway, join our Patreon. So we're gonna get into
Wait a minute. What the?
yeah, all right.
Did I did submit my card, right? Yeah. Never
Yeah, I
mind.
saw your name on there.
Never mind.
Yeah, I saw your name on there. So
I just felt like there was a match on here that I don't remember seeing, but never mind. I got it.
you're good to go.
Yep, good to go.
Okay.
I was trying to find the form so I could pull the card back up.
All right, well, let's get into NXT Road Block with a little bit of.
It's time for Rick's Picks. It's time for Rick's Picks. It's time for Rick's Picks.
That is right. It is time for Rick's Picks. It is Roadblock NXT tonight.
NXT's been freaking great lately.
It's really been great, and I think that's part of the allure of why we're adding TNA back or Impact back into the mix, because they're all crossing over, and we're going to see some stuff. And the exciting thing is going to come when they finally decide that an NXT person loses a title or wins a title from the other group, or vice versa. So
May happen tonight.
It absolutely could happen tonight.
Yep. First match on the card, we've got a Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez. This is what, the third installment in this? Second, third?
Is
when
this
Jordan
her
Grace-
first? Is this Roxanne?
I don't remember if they had when she was the TNA Knockouts champion and going
She
after
lost.
the NXT title, and she lost.
She lost.
With that was with Cora Jade coming back, I believe.
Correct.
I can't remember if they had a second match or not.
This is her first match as an NXT employee or WWE employee. So
who you got?
I honestly picked Jordan Grace. I like Roxanne Perez, but in my view, her first match, singles matches in NXT Superstar, they're not going to kill Jordan Grace. Her first night in as a singles competitor. Jordan Grace is going to be my pick on this one.
Roxy is going to give her a run for her money, but Roxy's got bigger plans. She's coming up to the main roster at some point here. I was thinking it'd be by now. She's already doing some stuff with Bailey, but we're not going to have Jordan Grace lose her first pay-per-view match. Or not pay-per-view match, but her first real big match. So Jordan Grace for me.
Yep, same here. Clean sweep.
Yep.
I agree. Roxanne Perez is I can see her being in a Mania match probably versus Bailey, but yeah, she's coming up before Jordan Grace does, so Jordan Grace can have this win.
Very quick question: will Bailey interfere in this, causing? Because again, we've been talking this whole WrestleMania thing. Will Bailey interfere that helps to kind of propel that story forward, possibly giving Jordan Grace the win?
Bailey's hey, what's up, Hunter? Bailey is a face, so I can't imagine. I mean, she could make an appearance. I don't think that she interferes.
Okay.
Unless Cora Jade's there and
and it's a no contest, and it goes to a tag team.
Ooh,
I hate wrestling.
oh no.
Do you know, guys? Do you know that they already know the finish?
Get out of here!
I didn't know that.
I learned it from AEW.
Exactly, same. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Next match on the card, we've got a street fight between Ethan Page and Javon Evans. Who you got, Scotty?
Well, after talking to you guys earlier off camera and kind of racking my brain as I was doing my picks, I was like, I'm pretty sure Ethan won the last match in this, especially we thought at Vengeance Day that Javon Evans was going to get his comeback for getting his jaw broken.
Right.
So I was like, all right, because at first I had Ethan Page winning this in my head. I was like, all right. And I was like, wait a minute, there's something not right about this. So this is the time that Javon Evans gets his get back on Ethan Page. Javon Evans going over.
If Scotty's racking his brains, most likely it's got barbecue sauce on it. Barbecue sauce on it. So I'm going
Jesus,
to
they are.
I am going to agree. What does racking your brains look like, by the way? I don't even know. But
You know the pool
Is there-
triangle. You know the that like just put my brain in the middle of the pool triangle. It's
Okay.
racking your brain.
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna agree with Scotty here. We were wrong before. We won't be wrong again unless they're gonna fraxy us, which is very, which is very possible. So no, I'm taking Javon Evans here.
Yeah, same here. He's gonna get it back on this one. We definitely thought at Veterans Day he was gonna get it back. He dominated that entire match, and then Ethan Page hit him in the mouth one time, and that was it.
There is a chance. There is a chance. If all week long Ethan Page was eating carbs, and we're back to chubby Ethan Page, very possible he goes over right here.
Too late. You can't switch your pick.
All right. Just keep it in the back of your mind. If he shows up with his gut hanging out over top his trunks, he looks like Crossberg.
Jesus. NXT Women's North American Champ Stephanie Vaquer versus the NXT Women's Champ Julia. Title for title. Who you got? I can't wait for this match.
Yes, I can't either. As much as I like what Julie has done in NXT, Stephanie Vaquer is going to be the new face of NXT. Like it's funny because they're both in this company at the same time. They have both had their respective championships and respective runs in their countries of origin. Huh?
Promotions.
Thank you, brain not wanting to work.
Correct.
So yeah, I got to rack it up again. So the fact that they're both in this company at the same time, again, Julia will still continue to be the next big thing, like later down the road, but they've really got something with Stephanie Vaquer. I think she's taking this one and not united championship, but will be a dual champion by the end of this.
I know that it makes. I'm going with Stephanie Vaquer, right? Let's just go with that. I'm gonna go with Stephanie, but to make her a double champ, that I feel like there's got to be some sort of interference with someone to cause this to go to a 3-way.
Jada Parker said she's coming for whoever wins.
I just don't. Why would you put the two belts on one person unless you're getting ready to move Stephanie up or Jillian up or Julia? I just don't. I don't understand the reasoning behind unless they're going to combine the belts.
No, because they just introduced that North American title for the women.
Well,
so,
yeah. So why does that make sense? Why does that make sense?
I think so. I read that Julia has some lingering injuries.
Yes.
So I think that could be why they could take this belt off of her.
Yeah.
And if they do that and put both on Stephanie, they may just she may just relinquish the North American title, and then they just have like a ladder match or a tournament for a new champion or whatever.
Yeah.
That or now I can't remember because it's been so long ago. What did they do with Warrior because he was IC champ and WWF champ? Didn't he just have to drop the belt to somebody? Drop the IC belt?
I don't remember that.
I can't remember. That was too far back, man.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But
They did it with Keith Lee, I believe, in NXT.
Yes, and he just
relinquished the.
Yeah.
And we've had plenty of guys. Like I think Asuka was undefeated. She let her belt lay. I believe Aleister Black was also undefeated. Did he give it up to Adam Cole?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. I feel like there was something there. Anyway, I just don't understand the reasoning unless there is some injury possibilities there. So we'll see. But I'm going with Valkyrie.
Same. and I can't wait to listen to Booker commentate this match because every time,
Oh yeah,
every-
yeah.
yeah, every time she does that move with
Oh man,
Finger, yeah,
shucky ducky.
he sounds like he's about to have full release.
When I say hi hooker, it's not because I'm saying hello. That's for sure.
TNA Tag Team
Ah
Championship.
yeah, man.
The Hardys versus Fraxium. Who do you got, Scotty?
Oh gosh. See, this is when I went. This is when I went back and forth in my
Fucking hate
mind
Fraxium.
on, huh?
I fucking hate Fraxium. They're
I know,
screw,
right?
They're gonna screw me.
This is what I went back and forth on in my mind on, because just like Jason talked about earlier, when is that point when an NXT team picks up an TNA title, or an TNA guy picks up an NXT title? Like, is this the night that something happens that they decide to kind of, not combine the belts, but again, do and again, do they do double champions twice in the same night? Do they do Stephanie Vaquer and Fraxium getting double titles?
Oh yeah, never mind. No, go ahead, Scotty. Go ahead.
Yeah, because like Fraxium is NXT champions,
Yeah,
and
it's only for the
they,
TNA titles.
it's only for the TNA titles, but they will become double champions if they win tonight. So, do they pull this off? Do they pull the trigger on a TNA title switch on NXT? My pick is still going to be the Hardys. But again, it's just like Jason said earlier. Like, we hate Fraxium because you never, like, you pick one and then the other one always wins. So I'm going to stick though with my pick of the Hardys on this one.
That's why you always just stick with Fraxium. I think he's taking the Hardys.
I believe that I'm taking the Hardys because I'm done picking Fraxium. They've won. I've picked them the last couple times. Every time I pick against them, they lose. So if they beat the Hardys, I am never watching wrestling again until tomorrow.
Till Dynamite tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, no, I'm going with the Hardys. I don't think that they're in a position right now to move belts back and forth, and the Hardys are probably the best thing going in Impact Wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Jeff
agreed.
looks good. Matt looks good. Right, as long as we don't do the whole Brother Nero thing, and we stay away from the Hardy compound, and
They still announce him from the Hardy compound.
Yeah, do they really? Okay.
Yeah. North Carolina.
Oh, Brother Nero.
Yeah, I'm taking the Hardys as well.
Perfect.
Normally I stick with Fraxium, but I'm not picking against the Hardys.
No way.
If it was for the NXT tag titles, maybe I'd take Fraxium, but not for the TNA titles.
Yeah.
NXT Championship match: Obafemi versus Moose.
How exciting!
Yeah. Now, so here's again another one of those questions. Like, again, do they do something spectacular? Do they flip the script? I'm gonna go with Obafemi because, like Jason said, I don't think they're in a position to switch belts right now between the companies. But it would be interesting. To me, it would be interesting to see something happen, and possibly an Impact guy taking an NXT title and but like I said, I don't think it's going to happen right now. It may happen in a year or so, but I don't think it's going to happen right now. So
Moose is with the system, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
The werewolf, Eddie Edwards. I think Moose doesn't win this because he gets help. Like, I believe there's going to be some interference here from the system.
Okay.
I believe that I mean, it keeps Moose strong, and and Opa's not losing that title. He's the ruler. He's the ruler. You can't be
Yep.
the ruler of NXT and lose to a Moose. You're not Canadian.
Yeah, Ova's a freaking beast. I got him as well. I what's that new group that keeps attacking everybody? I could see them coming down and just laying both of these guys out at the end of the match.
Very possible because they already have a problem with Obafemi. So
Yeah,
then we get an
'cause they laid him
Obafemi
out at
Moose tag
Edge
team.
Day.
No contest.
We've already got that in AEW Dynamite with Shelby B and Bobby Lashley.
Right. Yeah, that'd be gross.
God, can you imagine? Oh my gosh, if Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin were still in WWE, and they like Hurt Business came down to take or like to run roughshod on Moose and Obafemi, and like those four going at it. Ooh, that would be wild.
This match, I still feel like could have some like hella shenanigans though with the system.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Obafemi should win this, and he's going to be my pick. But it would not surprise me if somehow the system helps Moose win this title.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be absolutely sick. And Moose wants to come to NXT, so he's going to show off tonight.
Yeah,
he's going to show
Yeah.
off. So
yeah, this is going to be a banger. I got a feeling.
I hope your feelings just not gas.
No, we're good yet. I didn't eat tacos.
Oh.
That'll be later.
Anyway, that's good dude here for Heartbreak Wrestling Road Block. And we just did a little bit of Raw preview. We'll be back on Friday, right? We'll be back on Friday for news and notes and whatever else. Maybe we'll have a Scott's take. Scotty, you'll be watching NXT tonight. I need a full report.
Yep, I'll be watching.
Full report. So I'll watch it in the car in the morning on the way to work. So, anyway, that's good dude here, guys.
I will watch most of it before I go to work.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I'll probably miss the main event because I will be going to work.
I will be watching the back of my eyelids.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's good dude here for RA Wrestling. Thank you for joining us again. Back-to-back days. We'll be back at the end of the week for everything else that we call wrestling. Guys, listen, come closer. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Listen. Do you know that sometimes when they go under the ring, they take a razor blade and they